Okay, if you watched my first video, I got the box off the outside of the comfort control unit. This is what the inside of the comfort control unit looks like. The one that goes underneath, inside of the box, inside of, or underneath the carpet, inside of the box that's under there. This is what the control unit looks like, front and back. This is a clean unit, the one that I had. A lot of these were burnt right out. A lot of these connectors or pieces here were burnt right out. I believe like 3 of these ones and 2 or 3 of these ones were burnt out. And I imagine that a lot of the water that had gotten inside of these had a lot of damage and made a few other things not work. This is part of the interior of my car was not working, including the lights and locks and windows and my remote key and the moonroof, none of which were working. My hazards were turning on and off. When I pushed my blinker up, sometimes it would make a sound. This was after a big rain. I did find that there was water under the floorboard. I pulled that up, scooped the water out, plugged a heater in my car and left it in here for about 3 or 4 hours to dry that out so that it doesn't mold on the bottom of my floor. I found that inside of my dash, or inside of under my hood, the engine control unit had 1 bolt missing. The bolt allowed the water, after a heavy rain, allowed the water to flow into the cabin of my car, which is a flaw. And also, on the other side, underneath your battery, there is a hole which will allow it to flow. Where your transmission control unit is under the other side, make sure that those stay cleaned out. Make sure that debris doesn't get behind the engine control unit, and make sure that there is no debris underneath your battery, underneath the plate that's held in by the 2 bolts after you've removed your battery. This is what a clean unit looks like on the inside. The one that I had was green, corroded, and really messed up. The actual unit itself looks very nice closed up. This is what it looks like closed up. Each one of these has its own functions. The orangish looking one, if you look into the window controller over here, you can tell that the orangish looking one is plugged into, I believe, here, which means that that's the one for the window controls and things like that. Main power, I'm not sure exactly what the other ones go to. I know that my lights in my door did light up, but I was having issues with my windows rolling down. I pushed the unlock button quite a few times, and then my windows started rolling down and started working. Be sure that you have a second key, either a second key like this or a valet key to put into your engine so that you can program this key so that you can lock and unlock your door. After you replace the unit and you lock your door with this key, it will set the alarm. This key is not programmed to your car after you've done this, which means that when you try to start your car, it will not start. So, if you have this issue and you've skipped everything that I've said and you just went to replacing the unit itself, be sure that you have a second key. If not, get back under the panel, unplug everything that you plugged in, and then plug it back in, and do not lock the door with your key, because it will set the security alarm and you will not be able to start your car. So if you do have a second key, you plug you turn the valet key in your ignition to the on position, get out of your car, shut your door. I think you turn the key maybe in the door or something like that, and then push the lock button. It will lock. You wait 10 seconds, push the unlock button, and it will unlock. Okay, so it's a pretty simple procedure to program the key. You do have to have the second key, and it has to be in your ignition in the on position. So, beyond that, like I said, interior lights, dome light, window motors, or windows, the moonroof, some of the locking system with the key, and I was having issues with my hazards, which doesn't seem to be as common. My corrosion in my box was really bad. I have 2 boxes now. I bought 2 because one came with connectors and one didn't, and I wasn't sure if I needed to replace the connectors, which I ended up doing. I replaced all the connectors and spliced cord by cord each piece with a crimping tool, just to make sure that every single connector worked. My car is working fine, my windows are working fine, my doors are working fine, everything in my car is working the way that it should now. I've replaced the bolt under the dash. If you look at my other video, I'll show you where that bolt is, video number 1. And make sure that those are all clamped down. Make sure you clean the edges of that out so that the water doesn't pour back into your engine or in your engine control unit. I shouldn't have another problem with it because I've replaced the actual bolt, or I put the bolts in there that were supposed to be in there. Besides that, good luck with your Audi. And like I said, underneath the carpet, which you have to pull all this stuff up and pull the carpet up, I just cut mine out because I'm tired of working with it. My carpet that I put over it makes it look like it doesn't, like the carpet's there either way, so it's not an issue. But get up under there, buy the comfort control unit. They're not that expensive if you buy them used. I mean, every one of them that goes to the junkyard is going to have one in them. You can probably buy it from the junkyard. Just don't get ripped off, and make sure that if you're doing your own work, make sure that you know what you're doing. And like I said, once you replace that, make sure you have a second key. Alright, well, good luck with your ventures on your Audi, and I hope you get your car running.